I remember when it started. The woman strangled to death in her home bed. No sign of forced entry. Although her window was open, she never lived on a fourth escape. The killer was never found, and the apartment was very soon. Sometimes she died. I stared at them while working. Gasping air. One night, I opened my window, stuck my head out. Took a deep breath. The first thing I noticed a man standing in the window of the apartment on the street. It was the only one when the lights went out, and his body was scorching. I could not make it out at first. He seemed like his arms out. And the next night, I woke in panic. This time, I was really like someone was choking me. But there was so no there. I assumed it was an incident with the woman checking next door, making me paranoid. For the next time in my life, I was actually a little scared of being alone. As I opened my window for fresh air, I noticed him just staring the night before across the street, the light on, the man standing in the window with his arms outstretched. Is that all the guy does? I murdered myself? He's not out of my head. I hear ear feeling. I heard talk to my close my window, pull shades, and I went back to bed. I was getting curious of the man across the street, so I put on binoculars. During the next day, I watched him all day. It was strange on. There was no activity, no even furniture. There was no visible from the window. The movie just light. I watched until the sundown went down, but there was no light in the apartment. Ever came on. That I dreamed of the man at the window, like a late neighbor. I lived on a fifth floor, and there was no fire escape. It was hard to see his face, but I could see his eye examining his presence. His thickness and suffocating. I attempted to close the shades. Before I could scream, he reached through the glass and put his hand around my neck. I woke up terrified and confusion. The window was open, though I thought I closed it. Earlier, confusion and reason, I stuck my head out to trot in the air. It was unusually quiet. No cars in the road. Looking at the street, there was a long stretch of penetrated and looming gloom. Virtually, I panned up in the source again. There was an apartment across the street with a light, one binocular, and a man. His arms outstretched. I grabbed the binoculars to get closer immediately. I was purified. I almost locked the window, but the shades were on and hit on the blankets. Each night I got more paranoid, and I stopped at the window, kept locked at all times, the shades down and drawn. And even so, I can feel him staring at my apartment. I thought about calling the police, but I wasn't sure what I would say. That was a whole one night. I woke up in hysterical in the window. Nothing. Well, my chances in there he can hear. Maybe I can get a response out of him. What the hell are you doing here? I shouted. But there was no reply. The man remained silent and motionless, his arm extending beyond his open window. I thought a lesson started and it showed up enough time. Why did you just stand there every night? Still nothing, just as I turned away. His lights went out, I looked out the back and the launching. Too dark, I changed the window and locked it. I pulled the shades and turned the TV on. There was no way I would go to sleep, or at least try to sleep. I started to pass out, I couldn't help it. Later that evening, I had another night of terror, but this was so didn't have her stop. This time I was really being strangled. Two hands were grasping around my neck, attempting to squeeze the life out of me. I was struggling to break free. I tried to get a lock at the attacker. The arms are extending and laying on my body, but they just keep going. They just kept stretching through my window. I couldn't believe it. Arms started reaching in my fifth-story window. All the way on the top of the bed, they were choking me. I fled around and wrestled exams, kicked and scratching him face, and the liquids dripped tight and hurt him. I reached out in desperation for the knob, and with never drawer, I put knives and dug into my skin. I managed to open the door to try and reach inside, and choking even more painful. Frankly, I felt for anything sharp. I grabbed a pen and began stabbing his left arm with every ounce of strength in my body. I didn't know how many times I stabbed it, but eventually it would back up a little my throat. I left my throat. I grabbed and pulled it to my mouth and I bit it down hard as I could until I drew blood. Don was shook violently, tried to shake the hand on my jaws. Choking on blood, I unleashed my teeth and both arms reaching. While I spit and gagged, I stumbled to the window without slamming it down on them. But I gazed down, fingertips watching the horror and nonsense, stretching all the way. It was like my heart stopped. Then I was Who were they attached to? They were his arms. I couldn't look away as his limbs rippled, returning to the loneliness. He put them on the sides and went out. And I just locked it and moved the bookcase in front of it. And sat there trying to come together. What was I going to do to the police? As the man reached the window across the street and tried to show me, they should have taken it as a prank up, but I needed someone to check out the apartment and I would never be able to sleep again. Decided to make a quick anonymous call and investigate a dispute. I mentioned 2 officers who pulled over and crossed the street. They went inside and lights came on in the window. I waited for something to happen. The 2 unawarded men to their deaths. After a mere minutes, they just left into my window. I heard them say, "What I was hoping no one lived there." A few looks later, I saw a man moving van the building. Someone has moved into the apartment. I was relieved. Through my night terrors had already stopped. One night I could not sleep. As I turned my light and looked out the window, I noticed someone sitting across the street looking out the window. For some reason, I completely reached out and still, I'm trying to reach them.